Hey, what's up guys? My name is Thomas Park. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out BlackVPN. This is a VPN I reviewed quite some time ago. A lot of like super privacy based, anonymous, kind of focused VPNs exist, kind of like BlackVPN. A lot of people give them a lot of credit for having some kind of unique, kind of niche privacy feature or something like that. I took a look at it a long time ago. Wasn't really that impressed with it. Didn't really compete with most of my top VPNs at the time. This was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. We've been doing this quite a while, right? So let's go ahead and check it out in 2020. See if this VPN offers anything interesting that can make it compete with some of the top VPNs out there on this tier list. Of course, we're going to rank it on the tier list in either tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or tier 4. And we're going to put it on the comparison table as well, ranking it in all the different categories like pricing, application performance, speeds, streaming compatibility, reputation, as well as customer support. So anyways guys, let's go ahead and see if BlackVPN's worth a shot for you to try out. I'm getting some requests here on the channel, so I figured I'd get people to stop spamming BlackVPN on every video. I'll finally give them the review, give them what they want. Now that does not mean every single video from here on out just spam the VPN you want me to review until I review it, even though that seems kind of effective, but let's get on to the review. So this is BlackVPN's website. I don't really remember it way back then being so mobile based. It really seems like it's kind of focusing on this kind of mobile market here, advertising a 3-day trial. A lot of these mobile VPNs kind of give you a get out of the way, give you like a 7-day trial, and then they put you on billing. Kind of hard to cancel some of these VPNs and you get charged. Looking here at the features, I don't really see anything that is that unique. It seems like maybe their main selling point is that their VPN servers are physically located in the place you expect. Some VPNs have up to 30% of their VPN locations actually in different places than they say. I've noticed this is more popular with some of the bigger VPN providers. Seems like they also have dedicated bare metal servers, which not all VPNs do. Simultaneous device use. They really don't have that many servers or countries in terms of kind of their network. Go ahead and look at pricing. So it gives you a checklist here. It's kind of weird. I don't think I've seen that before. We only have a 14-day money-back guarantee. Sometimes you get up to 30. Some VPN providers give you a little bit lower money, like 7 days, but 30 days is kind of like more standard. We have a couple different packages here. We're gonna have to check these out and see what they each mean. One kind of interesting here thing is that I don't see any monthly options, and we do have kind of like a weird segregation between the different plans. So this is like a TV bundle, stream TV. So this is like the unrestricted, geo-restricted content. And this one is going to be accessing more VPN locations than this one. And this one also gives you the TV compatibility. So on one hand, you have like the privacy package, you have the geo-restricted, ungeo-restricted content package, and then you have like combining both packages into one. Which is kind of a weird way to do it. The way Torguard does it is they have their main privacy package or anonymous VPN package, and then they have the streaming bundle. The streaming bundle also kind of includes the privacy package. Here it's like they're kind of upselling the combination of both, which is a little bit weird. So you actually do, I kind of suspected this to happen. I don't know why they don't like advertise it, in each little thing. Maybe there's too much plans here. They're trying to advertise, 3 different plans. So if you click on one, it's specifically going to show you different combinations of access. So you have 1 month, 12 month. So $49 for this package is pretty good. Just keep in mind it's 49 euros and it doesn't include streaming access. So if you're going to want including everything, it's going to be 99 euros a year. So that's actually pretty expensive. It's going to be 100 plus USD. With Torguard VPN Streaming Bundle, it's $60, and that includes everything. Other VPNs like ExpressVPN are closer to this price point, and they include everything, so $100 is around that price point as well. Some other VPN providers out there definitely are cheaper than $100. There's really not that many cheaper than $60 a year for inclusive access to everything. So I would have liked to see this price point a little bit lower. And it's a little bit annoying. I am going to have to pay for this plan because I do want to test out how these services interact with BlackVPN. Will this global VPN package really work with unblocking Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, and BBC iPlayer? We're going to have to find out. So I'm going to wait. One fine thing here, unrestricted P2P at BitTorrent is not permitted on the USA and UK VPN locations. So that's definitely a bit annoying. I don't know why some VPNs do this. You're not going to be able to use specific servers, so it could impact speeds while downloading. However, sometimes I've noticed that with VPNs that have this caveat, the speeds aren't really impacted too much. So of course, we're just going to have to find out in our test. So let's go ahead and start off with this 1-month bundle for the global VPN package, and then we're going to test out the application. Not only that, but when you are checking out, you have to specifically agree not to download or share any copyrighted material using the USA or UK VPN servers. So it's almost like saying you could use all the other servers and you can do so, but with these ones you specifically can't. I've never really seen that as like a checkmark pricing plan in most VPN services. They just kind of have the agreement that like, oh, you're not supposed to use this service, but they're not going to explicitly tell you not to and make a checkbox. So that's kind of weird. You do have the option as well between Bitcoin, PayPal, and credit cards, which is good. If you want to use Bitcoin, that's probably one of the most anonymous ways. Of course, some VPN providers out there allow you to pay with Litecoin, Monero, some of these things, which can be more anonymous. Of course, you can also pay with credit card. I'm using something like privacy.com, which is a really cool service that I recommend to use. Additionally, you can also pay with gift cards, which is a nice feature. Some VPN providers pay that, some don't. All right, guys, so this is what the application looks like for BlackVPN. Now, they used to kind of primarily rely on OpenVPN. Now they have their kind of new app, and it's just in beta. I mean, I don't know why it's still in beta. I feel like a lot of these smaller VPN services really do kind of struggle in terms of finding the funding for application development and stuff like that. Sometimes they rely on, OpenVPN application, and just they finally have like their new one. And it's kind of weirdly designed. I'm honestly not a huge fan of the design. A lot of like the things down here, it's like something you could click on, but nothing happens. The settings is also very bare bone. It just kind of opens it up in like an extension of the application. You do have a little bit of settings here with like your protocol settings for OpenVPN, and it does have Tunnel, which is cool. A little bit of auto connection features, but it's like not quite clear how the kill switch works. I think it's like it automatically enabled once you connect. Of course, you can pick some servers here. Like I said before, there's not a ton of options. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like when it is connecting. So as I was expecting, it does kind of like enable these kind of things down here. It's just like automatic. You can't really control if there's a kill switch, whether application or network kill switch. We also don't see a lot of other features like extra protocol support like IPv2. Some people like that because it has very fast connection times. We don't see like proxy features, ability to add specific IPs. We don't see that much customization here, and power features like we do with some other applications, namely stuff like TorGuard, AirVPN, and some of those other ones that are very beefy in terms of the customization and what you can do with them. And we are still connecting here. It looks like connection times are pretty slow with BlackVPN. I wonder when it's going to connect. All right, well, it's not connecting. Let's try again. Not connecting. Let's try a different server. I don't know, something like this. Well, nothing's working. So my theory proves to be true. It doesn't work with connecting to USA servers, the ones provided, but it does work connecting to these other servers. So it won't connect to any of these ones, but it will connect to these ones. I'm not sure why that is. It's definitely a problem though. They should specifically say none of the America servers work on the client. And it's not quite clear exactly which ones on here are meant for streaming. If these ones are for streaming. When I go into the OpenVPN client itself, it has like the breakdown between the services discussed on the website. But this one, for example, these ones don't. So I think this application still needs some work in terms of describing what servers are for which, describing which servers work and which ones don't. So it looks like the USA West and Central servers both do not work. Let's go ahead and do a little bit more speed tests and find out what's going on. All right, guys, so we saw not very good results with the server selected, the only one we can use. So let's go ahead and see what kind of speeds we can get. And this one does not seem like it works for P2P, so we're gonna have to try a different one. I did another speed test with a Canadian server just to see if we could get any better results, and still things are not that impressive. So it is working on the Canadian server. It wouldn't work on the USA server. I guess they limit it for P2P. I do like that they show you at least which ones will work for P2P or not. Right now we are getting insanely fast speeds. For some reason we're getting like 50 megabytes a second, 64.7, 67. What the heck is going on? So guys, I just made a test to see if we're leaking anything, making sure the VPN is connected. And there's only been a couple times where I've done that. That's usually when the VPN is so fast, I almost don't think it is connected. You saw some of the speeds that we were getting. You saw how fast this downloaded. I almost didn't have time to look at the speeds. This could be one of the fastest, if not the fastest VPNs I've ever tested, specifically for P2P. That was impressive. Server problems aside, this Canadian server is sexy AF. I've been testing it a little bit here and there. We're getting kind of weird results. On one hand, one test I was getting insanely fast speeds, like 60 megabytes a second, and then I tested it again and I was getting much slower. Now we're getting pretty good speeds, not quite up to 60. Maybe it wasn't fully connected or something like that. It said it was though, and it wasn't leaking anything. I'm not sure why it got so high. But right now it's resting around 30 megabytes a second, right around there, rounding up, of course. 20, 25s to 30s highs. These are insanely fast speeds, among the best. So this server is not messing around for P2P downloading, that's for sure. So server problems aside, the ones that do work seem to be very torrent friendly. Right now we're getting up to 35.8. This by far is one of the fastest VPNs I've ever tested. Getting almost up to 40 right now. You look at something like ExpressVPN, look at something like NordVPN, you might get like 14. So this could be like way faster. You know, of course I do have fast internet, but this is a good indication this is not restricting my downloads that much. All right, we are now connected to a US server. Let's see if BlackVPN works with Netflix. Let's load it up and see. Very nice. BlackVPN USA East server does work with Netflix. That's pretty good to see. Looks like BlackVPN does not work with Hulu though. So I paid for the extra service. I don't get to watch everything. That's disappointing. Looks like BlackVPN is also not going to work with Prime Video, which is disappointing. Again, very disappointing. I'm disappointed, okay? According to BlackVPN's terms of service and privacy policy, they do not collect any log of your information, which is good to see. It looks like a pretty decent privacy policy, just the right amount of information and the right amount of honesty. So pretty good. Glad to see that there is no logging here. Now BlackVPN is a smaller VPN provider, which means it doesn't really seem to have live chat. Seems like there could potentially have been a live chat thing here. It's like a little thing, but nothing happens. Mostly just have to submit a ticket. Usually with these kind of VPN providers, you get a response within a day or so, so it's not going to be like that quick of responses. But it could get the job done if you really need like a refund or something like that with a 14-day refund policy, money back guarantee. So guys, BlackVPN was kind of a good exercise in VPN review for me. A lot of VPNs are pretty easy to review. They'll work the first time, you know, all the servers work, and it's pretty clear cut on how to rate them. This is why you'll see a lot of people reviewing super easy VPNs to review that have high commission rates. Take for example stuff like ExpressVPN, IPVanish, NordVPN. All these VPNs are pretty easy to review because they just kind of work and are simple. Now BlackVPN is kind of a different story. The pricing is a little bit complicated. You have a couple different options, and depending on your use case, you can specifically pick the one right for you. You can either get the one that allows you to have streaming or privacy, or the one that combines both of them into one package. It's kind of an interesting kind of package deal, because if you don't really care about privacy in those kind of servers, you could get the streaming. If you don't really care about streaming, you could just get the privacy. And if you care about both, you could get one package. It's an interesting way to package it. I do kind of wish that the streaming included the privacy servers, but I could see them increasing the price to do that, you know, with the main package. And since the streaming doesn't include the privacy-based servers, you know, maybe it lets the price for that specific audience go a little bit lower, which makes sense. In terms of application, things definitely need a lot more polish. We don't see that much customization and power features here with BlackVPN. It is buggy as well. Some of the servers don't work. Some of them work pretty good. And some of them just won't connect at all. They'll just get hung up on connecting. So it was an exercise in frustration. In some ways, I almost just totally abandoned reviewing BlackVPN altogether until I figured out specifically which ones work, which ones don't. I played around with their app a little bit. The basic idea is that mostly the USA servers don't work. The Eastern USA servers do work. Most of the other servers elsewhere in the world do seem to be working pretty good. And that comes to my next section here, which is speed. BlackVPN didn't really do that well on speed tests, but man, in terms of torrent downloads, it is among up there with the fastest VPNs I've ever tested. This VPN can get smoking in terms of torrent downloads. You will get very fast download rates with this one. Definitely probably one of the fastest VPNs I've ever tested here on the channel, which is really cool, especially if you just get you know, the privacy package and you just want to pay a little bit per month. It's not bad at all. And in terms of reputation, I couldn't really find anything bad about BlackVPN. They don't really collect logs. I found some posts on them on Reddit kind of defending themselves, saying they don't collect logs or anything like that. There's been no instances of it, so that's good to see. I don't really know too much about them though. There are a smaller VPN provider. You know, of course, we're all eyes had to see in the future if they do give up any logs or do anything kind of sketchy. In terms of support, they don't really have live chat, which doesn't surprise me. It's not a huge VPN provider. You know, they do have tickets and they'll probably respond within a day or so, so there's that. And in terms of streaming, I was disappointed to see that their global VPN servers only supported the USA version of Netflix. You're not going to be able to watch Hulu or Prime Video or BBC iPlayer either, so that's something to consider. Whether you want access to all the streaming services or not. This would probably be a better VPN if you only care about privacy and torrenting. This is an excellent torrent VPN provider, especially because the speeds are so good and the price is low. However, you know, in terms of the generalized package, the overall score is going to be a 3.37 out of 5, making it a respectable tier 2 VPN provider. If BlackVPN polished the application more, made it more of a full-fledged app with customization and security features to match some of the best VPNs out there, if they added live chat to the website, increased their streaming compatibility, they could be one of the best VPNs out there, no questions asked, especially since the price is very good and the speed is also excellent. Anyways, guys, kind of a weird review here. It took me a little bit more effort to kind of figure out where to place this one due to some issues testing it out, as I said in the application section, but I'm glad to see that we made it here to the end to give it a fair score. Let me know down in the comments down below, of course, if you want to see a VPN that's not on the tier list. The number is getting lower. You know, I think at this point I've almost reviewed 50 VPN providers within a year or so. So we've done good work here on the channel, guys. Thanks for your support. As always, click on the links down in the description down below if you want to help support the channel, continue to be able to make money and exist. And I'll see you again on the next video very soon.